What up? Welcome to the show before the show, where I check to make sure everything's working. Got the window open over there, the blinds rather. So if you notice like an extra ambient light, that's why. It'll change during the course of the eve, because we're starting a little bit earlier than regularly. One, I want to make myself available for the evening. Who knows what kind of nightlife I'll be living. But from 5 to 7 today is going to be our stream. So you're seeing a lot of natural light. This is rare. It's so pretty out there, so I left the windows open. And the windows aren't covered in water like last time, so thank God. Thank God for that. But how are you guys? Have you caught up with all of the new Kamigawa stuff? Have you been following Kimetsu no Yaiba, the Entertainment District arc? It's just been a very long battle, I gotta say, this new season of Demon Slayer. It's just one straight up, long ass battle. Not in a bad way, but I feel like I haven't really grown attached to any of the new characters. They were just thrust into this universe. Maybe I'll go read the manga afterwards. I don't know. How many of you are actually interested in manga reading? I'd be interested to know. But yeah, let me know if anything is wrong or haywire with the camera, the audio. Always curious. Hello, Schrodinator. I'm going to go ahead and just check that everything, oh, look at that. We're on Scryfall. Might even take a look at some Kami stuff with you guys, some of these previews. I don't know when all of Kami is spoiled. I haven't really been paying attention. I just assumed I would enjoy it when it arrived. But that would be something interesting to look up. Released 2/18. Is that accurate? So this February, on the 18th, I'm going to take Scryfall's word on this one. That seems right. I mean, we've seen a lot of the cards already. We've seen a whole cycle of invokes that are okay. I would say the best one, that's not even true. I can't grade these at all. They're all just okay. The cost is obviously egregious, but our boy Crick that we just built, he would love the Black Invoke. I said he would love it. He would be able to cast it more easily than any other Invoke in any other commander deck. But that's about it. I wouldn't say it's good. There are some interesting cards, though, from this set, so far as pieces of removal, just general interaction, and a lot of legendaries. We haven't even seen the half of them yet. But I like the addition of Mirror Box. I can't help but feel like I needed this for Oswald, and I totally forgot what play line I had in mind for it. So I'm going to have to take a nice sit down and look through all the artifacts that come from this set. But there's been a lot of enchantments and artifacts that are both, really exciting for me because, as I build out Sithis, it's always nice seeing more enchantments, just more ways to draw. And if they're useful, that's even better because she's just chock full of enchantments that are, some are okay and obviously some are better than others. So I guess that's what's really fun about Sithis if you've never played Sithis, the fact that every set has new enchantments, and she's in Selesnya, so there's usually a handful of really good ones in those colors. Obviously, green enchantment ramp, like more wild growths please, more Utopia Sprawls, I'd love to see more of that. But also like lockdown mechanics, which is generally white steel. Love to see more of that. But there's been some good ones here, and the enchantments aren't, let's see here, like a lot of them have come by way of sagas that flip. I don't know if you've seen these like cycle of cards, but it's actually really interesting to see, like Befriending the Moths. If you guys remember those moth riding samurai, well, this is apparently regaling the story of when samurai befriended the moth. But it's hilarious here. I'm looking at the card now. Bam, this card right here. That's so funny. But I love that they made that into a card, this whole storyline. I was excited for this set already, and they haven't really let me down. So I'm excited to see where they go from here. I'm going to drink some water, tune in with you guys. Okay, I'm going to pull up my notes as well while we're chilling. Because as with every Brewmaster segment, there was a Brewmaster behind the request. And this one does have a little bit of dialogue for it. So let me just go ahead and bring that up. And I hope this time works for you guys. It's always experimentation. I actually generally prefer these being late. Like, might even want to stream these from 8 to 10 in the future if it's a deck tech and or a review or overview. It's just a better time frame for me. Even on Sundays, I don't really need to go into work early, and I do a lot of work from home, so it's easier for me to get to the office. and you know, if Monday is the day I'm working from home. Hey, the very moment I start the manga, I never go back to the anime. I can understand this. I can definitely understand this. For me, it depends. Like, I actually had the opposite problem with One Punch Man. Do you remember One Punch Man? I'm actually reading the manga. I'm all caught up. I haven't read One's work. I've just been reading the one that's been drawn by Murata. I want to say his name is Yusuke Murata. Please forgive me if I mispronounce that and or just don't know his name. But yeah, I've been reading that. It's fantastic. But unfortunately, after season 1 of the anime, they switched to different animators. And they didn't do that good a job with One Punch Man. So I just rewatched that first season, but it's like a 10 out of 10 season. And I'm actually rewatching Attack on Titan now because I dropped out of Attack on Titan after that first season. And I intend to like catch up to where it is now, which is I mean, I'm told it's had its ups and downs, but it's apparently getting everyone excited still. So I wouldn't mind catching up with Attack on Titan. Other than that, I'm not watching too much anime. All right. So far, I'm very scared because of the severe lack of snake people. You're right. That's so true. We've had some rats, right? We're getting a lot of spirits. Getting a couple rats in here. To me, I'm personally a fan of the rat ninjas. Right, but we got like ogre ninjas in here too. We've got a really interesting diversity of just types, like creature types. So I'm interested to see what all this set has for us. But so far, I'm really not disappointed. Like, Goro Goro looks kind of cool. I just mean the art of Goro Goro, but it's a goblin samurai. Has that happened before? Was there a Goro Goro in the past? I don't remember goblin samurai looking like this, if there were any, because this guy looks really dope. Sorry, it's not on the screen now, but... Activate only if you control an attacking modified creature. So they really stopped this from being a win con, huh? You notice this? Create a red 5/5 red dragon spirit creature token with flying. Activate only if you control an attacking creature, modified creature. So that means it's interesting. The modified keyword now, equipment auras and counters are modifications. I assume +1/+1 counters or death touch counters. Like if anyone's rolling with counters from what is that set called? Oh my god. It came and went. No one cared for it. Had the Godzilla stuff in it. I forget the name of that set. But yeah, they had a bunch of like different like trample counters and stuff from that set. So those would be modifications. But the hang up here is that they have to be attacking. That one caveat, that really hampers this. Obviously the idea would be infinite red mana, make all the dragons and then give them haste and then let them swing. That would be kind of cool for Goro Goro, but I don't think that dream is going to come true, sadly. But this is the art. Like, both of these look freaking absurd. Actually, kind of like this one a little bit better, just the framing of it. But this, like he's about to draw that blade, is so sickening. Absolutely love that. I think someone on the Discord actually made a reality chip deck, like a commander deck for the reality chip. Obviously, commander deck. They shared it. I haven't had a chance to look over that, but there's a lot of really interesting cards here. Equipment Jellyfish, of course. Have you seen the new legendary Land Boseiju? Yeah, I have. And I mean, since we're here, this one. Well, did you need a reason? The complaint I generally have with Commander is that it really depends on the mix of players at the table, but sometimes you'll find that they all have very, very proactive lists, and it becomes very solitary. Like, it is as if you're playing solitaire at that table, and they don't pack enough. I've found a lot of people don't pack, just in general, don't even have to be playing a proactive list, which is usually more about, self-satisfying the needs of that deck, like doing the thing really quickly, so they condense and they cut as much unnecessary removal as possible. But that's been a separate problem, is that no one really has that removal in their decks. So any excuse to put it there. And this land, right, channel is an old keyword, and it's really nice that they're bringing it back, because none of those old channel cards are good. Sorry, not at least for Commander. But this is amazing. Like, this is let me just read, and we're looking at it. But channel, for 1 generic, 1 green, it taps for green. So switch out a forest. If you're in a deck with green, I mean 5 color, any color, play Boseiju Who Endures. It's just another one of those lands that you must play. Shatterskull Smashing, same sort of story. It's good removal and a land. This is good. This is, okay. Discard Boseiju Who Endures. Destroy target artifact, enchantment, or non-basic land an opponent controls. I don't know if you suffer from a Tabernacle of Pendrell Vale, but if you were, this is a great land to handle that. Also, if you have a way to tutor your lands, as many green decks do, you can utilize this to just rip that apart, right? So now your land tutor is effectively removal for artifacts, enchantments, and non-basic lands. I feel like the non-basic lands, that third category, is going to be used less often, but artifacts and enchantments, all the time. All the time. Rest in Peace kills so many decks still. So if that's, you now have a land that handles that. There's more to this card. It's not the end of the world, though, trust me. That player may search your library for a land card with a basic land type put onto the battlefield and shuffle. This ability costs 1 less to activate for each legendary creature you control. It's literally saying if you play Commander and you enjoy casting your Commander and you enjoy lands, we've made cards for you. Because there's a cycle of these legendary lands, if I'm not mistaken. They're not all as good as Boseiju. And I'm not going to find it off the fly here, but there are some other lands, legendary lands like this. Let me see if I can just do it this way. That one's really good, though. And it answers a lot of problems. Like, even if you are playing a proactive list now, you have no excuse to not have removal to handle certain situations. But it's not good when it's not good when you're not really playing the game together. Let me just put it that way. And it can be tricky if we're all just trying to fulfill our own needs and just ignoring board states, which can really turn to shit sometimes. And that's why people complain about stacks so much. Even if there's just one player that was like running the board over with their Heliod list or whatever, and no one packed anything for those rule of law effects, then of course it's going to be really damning. And of course that deck's going to win, because no one thought to care. Let me look at this, though. Okay. This gives us the other one. Here's another channel land. Not as good. Kind of sad. This is not another Shatterskull Smashing, but it exists. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure they're going to do a cycle of these. I feel like I've seen I feel like I've seen a white land already, but I could be mistaken. All right. I like the Jujukai Naturalist, an enchantment creature that works as a cost. Yeah. Is that the Selesnyan one? I think I know which one you're talking about. And it's only 2 CMC. Like, it's on the low end. It's not like it's a difficult card to pack into your list. But I know which one you're talking about. I love this Nils Hamard right here. By the way, I might find an excuse to use this card. Unfortunately, exile any number of white cards from your hand. That's very rare that I have other white cards in my hand. Ikoria, thank you. Thank you. Kodaks? Kodak partnered with MTG to make Magic the Chandra cameras. Let me see here. The West Tree is nice ramp for Voltron and Enchantress decks. Kodama of the West Tree, this guy? Oh, I see. Yeah, it's pretty gnarly. 3 CMC, modified creatures you control have trample. Whenever a modified creature you control does come down, search your library for a basic land. Yeah, it's really gnarly. It's an interesting ramp deck by itself. Is it winning the game? Is it providing you enough value? I think time will tell. it's not really card advantage, but it's certainly a lot of ramps. So potentially you can do a lot with this with like an aura. With like an aura, mono green aura deck though. Let's get some equipment in there and it might be better. Double the value for my Slowgurk tech. White and black are spoiled so far. Blue is missing. It seems like blue is, yeah, I can see that. I can see blue is missing just a wee bit. Blue's been missing a wee bit. So are the other colors though. There have been some interesting cards, but like this one's an interesting one for white. Like if this is one of their rares, I think it's okay. I do like the reconfigure mechanic here though. This is really awesome. This is really awesome as an effect. Because basically, you have this thing that's amazing grave hate, and I think there's like another one. Look at this one. This one looks a little bit better, right? This is amazing grave hate with upside, right? It's essentially the ooze. What is the name of that ooze? There's some good art for that ooze. You guys know which ooze I'm talking about. There's a green ooze that does the same thing, right? But essentially this is white's variant of that, but it also works as a form of equipment for your creatures. And in a list like, say I put this in Oswald, it's nice that I can reach for this whenever I want, and I have Grave Hate in that instance, and it's repeatable. There are Grave Hate cards, but a majority of them like tap, sacrifice, exile all cards from graveyards, or have some additional draw effect like Soul Guide Lantern or something of that nature. Those are fine as one-offs, but this is a consistent threat, and it's great if you're understanding of what your opponent's lists are doing. And a majority of lists that are, operating with red these days, they do care about the tutors that exist in their graveyard. So while you're not pinging away permanents every turn, you might want to ping that demonic tutor that Grixis list just put in their graveyard. Because guess what? When they drop that Underworld Breach, it will be core to their strategy. And they might lie and say it's not, but it will. It will be important to their strategy because a tutor in the bush is one in the hand. It's just as good if you have Underworld Breach is what I'm saying. And this is saying, I'm going to have upside to my removal, and now in Oswald, my Oswald's a 5/5. And if I had nothing else to do off turn, you better believe I'm going to close off. Like, before you pass, let me nuke that fetch land. Sweet. +1/+1 counter. My dude is bigger. And obviously, if there's a board wipe, Lion Sash is still there, right? So everything dies, and then this thing reconfigures itself back into just being a lion, a cat, I should say, at whatever scale it was at that point, right? So it's a 1/1 base, but if it had, what did I say, 4? If it had 4 counters on it, it would be a 5/5. That's really not nothing. That's actually quite a lot of damage to sling around. Especially after a board wipe, you sort of have free reign to hit whomever you want. But this is okay. I don't know if it's something that will fit into that list necessarily, but I also like Banishing Slash. Just roll up to one target artifact, enchantment, or tapped creature. Then if you control an artifact or enchantment. Okay, so basically it's saying, and create a 2/2 white samurai creature token with vigilance. That's a lot of value. Now it's sorcery speed, but it's a lot of value. I like Banishing Slash a lot. And you're guaranteed, if you're playing cEDH at least, to have an artifact or an enchantment on the battlefield. So that's pretty gnarly. Also, this is really cool for just recurring value. Speaking of, like, there aren't enough permanent base card advantage cards out there. There's a number of utilities that do come to mind though, right? Like we all think, at least in blue, Mystic Grimoire, Ristic Study, green has Sylvan Library, black has Dark Confidant, yada yada yada. White now has Esper Sentinel, which is surprisingly, like, it pulls a lot of weight. It does, it can. It's not always great though, and it's only the once. I think it's a little over-evaluated, but it's still a good card. And now red's sort of getting something like that that's more or less in the vein of what red wants to be doing, even in Commander, right? So that's actually a really cool card. What I'm saying is that they've produced a lot of really great cards with this set thus far, and I'm excited for all of them. I want to take a couple more seconds before we start, just to tune in with you guys. Do you think that Jing Taxis is busted or just really strong? I'm super excited for the new Spirit Dragons in this set. Always love seeing new dragons. I wish Velomachus was less CMC. I would totally own and play Velomachus if Velo was just a little bit easier to put down. Speaking of dragons, also the art for Velomachus is so dope. They've really been crushing it. I just say, like, over the last year, like 2021, and this year, thus far, it's only January, the art's been amazing. I'm so excited. Like the people they're hiring and rehiring are doing a fantastic job. So all the artists that are commissioned to do work for MTG, WotC, you guys are doing great. I love every single card. Really. Like there are so many like commons, uncommons, rares, mythic rares. So many cards that I just want to throw on my list because. And plenty of new reprints that have new art that I'm also just loving. Like the recent Thalia, I haven't picked one up yet, but the one that non-creature spells cost one more. From the, oh my god, Innistrad set. I love it. Like I actually really love a copy of that. I'm not even playing one right now, but I'm thinking about it. At any rate, yeah. Jin Gataxias. I think Jin's fine. I don't, probably better for a reanimate strategy. I don't know if I would want Jin as my, I have to look it up. I don't know if I want Jin as my commander, but it's not bad. It's really not bad. It's 7 CMC, but whenever you cast an artifact, instant, or sorcery spell, copy that spell, you may choose new targets for the copy. This ability triggers only once each turn. So your turn, that person's turn, her turn, his turn, right? You may proceed and create copies. It is on the cast though, so be mindful of that. Whenever an opponent casts an artifact, instant, or sorcery spell, counter the spell, this only triggers once per turn. That's really good. You're basically saying you need to have a throwaway spell before you do the thing you actually want to do. And I mean, imagine if this guy, obviously Jin would only be mono blue, but imagine if it was Azorius and you just had rule of law effects. It's like, no, everything you cast is dead. That's why I think this is kind of a cool reanimate target, especially if you're doing a stacks deck. If this is your reanimate target for that list, you get so much value and just grind out the board. And if you had a deafening silence, or better yet, a rule of law, what does anyone do? Right? It says once each turn, and I'm pretty sure it's per opponent. I'm sorry. We can look at what I'm looking at, and we can start this up. But it's really good. Obviously, during this video, after this video, if you guys want to talk more about this set, feel free to just put those questions. And if you want to discuss the set as the cards are releasing, everyone on the Discord is discussing cards in the latest releases tab. I'll just encourage you to go over to the Discord in the link in the description. Follow along there as we talk about the set. Jinx, oh my god, what? This has nothing to do with Arcane. Not interested. All right. I wonder if reconfigure cards will be stronger as they are not abusable with cards like Sigarda's Aid or Puresteel Paladin. Yeah, it's interesting because they're not, they act as equipment, but they're not equipment, right? They're not called equipment, all right? Are they called equipment? Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I think it is called equipment, but yeah, there you go. Artifact, creature, equipment, cat. It doesn't have an equip cost, it has a reconfigure cost. Now that's the thing though, have you confirmed that? Have you confirmed that when this piece of equipment enters the battlefield, read this, it doesn't allow you to trigger Sigarda's Aid, right? Attach a target creature you control or unattach from a creature, reconfigure it as only sorcery while it's attached. While attached, this isn't a creature. But in your hand, it's a piece of equipment, right? You can use Steel Shaper's Gift to find this like you would any other piece of equipment. And to my understanding, whenever equipment enters the battlefield, I guess as a state-based action after it entered, it wouldn't be an equipment anymore. It would be a 1/1 cat. I don't know. Let me know if that's been confirmed. I don't really know if that would work with Sigarda's Aid or not. That is an important question, though. Something like a Puresteel Paladin, though, in Metalcraft, equipped for 0. Obviously, you couldn't do that. Equip cost of 2 is kind of tedious. Obviously, this also operates at sorcery speeds, very much like equipment. So, I feel like a lot of commons and uncommons last year and this year are pretty decent. They have been. They really have been. All right. Anyway, I have Safari up, so we can do polls. Do we like polls? And once I get the answer to that question, I'll close that out. But do we like polls? And let's go ahead and start this up so that Kadammer, or Commander, I'm assuming, or cDammer, can get to that sweet, sweet blim blam boom action, which I'm also curious about. All right. Welcome back to the 99, where we're focused on brewing a better competitive commander. I'm your host, Patrick Marlette, and this is Brewmaster, where I take the list of one of our Patreon members and refine it live on camera with you all. And the beauty of this is that we get to do it together, right? I'm not a master of MTG, although I claim to be. Never once. But I do play one on this stream. So I would love your guidance, your help to make sure that Kadammer gets the best Blim comedic genius possible. Now, it's funny, I'm just going to say C. I'm going to say C from now on. I spoke with C on Blim Blam Bloom, Blim Blam Boom, excuse me, which is the version of my deck. Right now, it's just a copy-pasted iteration of his deck. If you want to follow along, it's in the description. I don't think there's a link to this list because it came off of Architect, but I'm not even sure you can look at previous versions, but take inventory of it now if you want to use this particular list. But C says, it's always been my one day I'll brew deck. I don't think you can make it cEDH. Instead, it's about maximum lulls when playing IRL. So Scrambleverse, Thieves, Auction type effects, along with the individual gifts in black. Just general chaos. Individual gifts. Now, gifts like, what is it? This one? Where are the ones like you just die, right? There's a bunch of enchantments where you just die. I want to look over one of them. Is it Nefarious Leech? Yeah, there you go. If you would be dealt damage, remove that many cards in your graveyard from the game. If you can't, you lose the game. If you would gain life, draw that many cards instead. When Nefarious leaves play, lose the game. Something like that. Like, that's pretty funny to give someone. And there's a bunch of cards like this. Whenever you discard a card, you lose 1 life. Right? Let me see here. At the end of your turn, sacrifice Measure of Wickedness. And you lose 8 life. Whenever another card is put into a graveyard from anywhere, target opponent gains control of Measure of Wickedness. All right, so that actually can shift hands quite a bit. But the whole goal of Blim, if you've never seen Blim, we should probably start there, right? This is such a quirky legendary. It's low-ish CMC with no real value attached to it, but it's providing negative value for everyone, to include yourself, because you're losing a permanent. And sometimes that might not be a permanent you want to give away. Like maybe the hand you were dealt just didn't benefit you in such a way. And we should mulligan to where the hands make most sense for Blim. But for all of what I just said to make sense. Blim Comedic Genius for 2 generic Rakdos. Legendary creature imp, 4/3 body, flying. No haste. No haste, sadly. Whenever Blim Comedic Genius deals combat damage to a player, that player gains control of target permanent you control. It can be anything, literally permanent. So you can give them a land, so on and so forth. Then each player loses life and discards cards equal to the number of permanents they control but don't own. Now it's important to note that you own all the cards you come to the table with, right? But if you were to, and I need to look at this list, because I don't know if I saw any, but if you were to create tokens under your control, you would not only control those tokens, you would own those tokens. So we could actually generate like 1/1 goblins and hand those off, right? And that might be the best approach. You know, there's some pretty lull type of cards and effects in here, but also by that same effect, if I were to create a token under an opponent's control, say with a Forbidden Orchard or Exotic Orchard, I forget which one it is, like a 1/1 Spirit, because it came into play under their control, it is also subsequently under their ownership, if I'm not mistaken on my understanding of the rules thus far. So token generation for us is not a bad idea, right? It's really not a bad idea. Or like Zoncha type cards, stuff like that, where there's a negative effect to having it, right? So there's Zoncha. We want to utilize as much stuff that freely gives itself away, right? And we've got things like Bazaar Trader, and I think there's like, do you have the one? There you go. You've got like Harmless Offering. This is such a weird card to be rare, by the way. But Harmless Offering, like stuff like this, so that we don't need to solely rely on Blim to get the job done before we get to the point where we can actually cast and then attack with Blim. We can actually start setting up the board for our perfect Blim turn, right? So it all relies, though, on Blim dealing combat damage. So if at any point someone had removal for Blim, trust me, they will use it before they go to discard it. even if it is a benefit for everyone else, because this is an asymmetrical effect, or rather symmetrical in this sense, because each player loses life and discards cards equal to the number of permanents they control but don't own. So let's read that again. Each player loses life and discards cards equal to the number of permanents they control but don't own. So this is we're gonna need to spread the love equally. This can happen to us. It's rare. So it is symmetrical in that sense, but we're likely gonna be the only person manipulating cards like Harmless Offering. Probably. And we probably don't want to do too many effects like Claim the Firstborn, right? Because like I said, it can happen to us. So, you know, if you're going to steal the Timna to try to draw cards or something, just make sure you don't attack with Blim that turn, because that's going to be a bad turn for you. You're going to have to discard one thing. So maybe not the worst of turns, but mind you, if I'm not mistaken, Timna lets you draw post-combat main phase, so you're going to have to discard first. Sorry, kid. At any rate, there's a lot to look at here. So I think we should start there, just to see where this is at. I want to take it a cEDH route because that's kind of what we do here. Obviously, if there are cards or effects you think would work best for this, let me know as we go along. I do want to shape up the land base, and I might even just use a copied and pasted version of an amazing Rakdos list that I own, just to get the ball rolling on that. Let's see here. Anya made Dishonored, which I'm sure it's perfect. What is the land base here? Yeah, it's perfect. Oh yeah, I love it, love it. So we're gonna fix up the lands first and foremost to give this a more competitive land base, which isn't necessarily what C had requested per se. I think I want to take it this way to see what we can essentially do, because we're operating under the premise that Blim can't be made competitive, and I'd like to see if it can be. If it's more than just lulls, right? Can we do more than just the lulls? This is going to be a difficult way to eliminate my lands. There's also, the main deck is consistent of more cards, because when I copied it from Archidect, I'm pretty sure it put sideboard things in the main deck. So we're actually going to start by cutting a lot anyways, but this will give us an opportunity to get us to where we need to be. Oh my god, this is going to be very, very tedious, but this is how we're doing it. Yeah. Okay, I'll leave it. I'll leave it. My phone vibrated vigorously. That can't be good. I'm sure it's fine. All right. We're going to delete all these lands. I'm sure that, you know, whatever was here was great, but I didn't see any dual lands, so we need to do that first. Well, maybe there was a dual land. There's probably dual lands here. I didn't see any dual lands I like. How about that? All right, and I'm going to tune in with you guys in 3, 2, 1. Chris! C-Dammer. MC Dammer in the house. Love the pulse. Good, because this one's closing. I hope you put in your 2 cents. Oh, wait. Did it do it? Hold up. Wait up. End pull. Okay. What did Streamlabs just do? Anyway. Call me Chris. We'll go with that. There's a demon that says you can't win and your opponents can't lose. If you remember the name, let me know. Does Demonic Pact work if you high five? No, if you 5 it to an opponent, give it to an opponent after 3 or 4 modes have been already used. If they have counters allocated to them, then I will say yes. Right? That makes a great deal of sense. But that is a genuinely good question. I would say that, like, if it says start with 4 counters, remove a counter at the beginning of each of your upkeeps and do this, well then if such is the case, you should be able to say, oh well, now it only has this 1 counter. What are you going to do with that? Enjoy. And what's interesting is that Blim has a lot going against it. Now, the only reason I wouldn't want to use those types of effects just to begin with is the simple fact that, and I'm going to put in Shatter Skull Smashing, because remember what I said? It is a land you must always use, and I don't think I saw it. I'll look really quick. It is a land you must always use. Blam. I meant Blim. Using it. All right, so I would avoid those types of effects like you lose the game when this occurs, because the element where we trade things off happens when you deal combat damage. So there's no, if it was on the attack trigger is what I'm saying, if I can attack, trigger this, and just give it away, then before I went to declare attackers, they would have to make up their mind on destroying Blim then and there. As it stands now, they have the before I enter combat and during combat, before I go to the damage step, to decide whether they want to kill Blim. And then just negate this whole thing. And then ultimately I will lose the game if I don't have Harmless Offering or a Bizarre Trader or something of that kind to stop that from occurring, right? So that is a major hiccup. Again, if they have removal for Blim at instant speed, they will use it on you. They will definitely use it on you if you're going to pass them something that says they lose the game. So I do think I want to avoid that. As fun as that is, and I know you said it was for the lulz, Chris, I'm probably going to avoid that in this particular build. But I do agree that the concept of going with like the most permanence is best because it gives us more options to give. All right. Let's see here. Pat, the deck list is more of a grab bag of potential tools, not a finished list. Definitely wanted to see how Blim can be cEDH. Yeah, we'll put the C there. Chris, we'll put the C there. Don't worry. As you put the C in Danmar. Let's see here. Snowlands, instead of basics, you could use Rhyme Transfusion. I actually, if I'm not mistaken, with that Anya build, I built it such that it was prepared for Tainted Pact. I love Tainted Pact. So I'm going to leave it as such for Tainted Pact. I mean, there's singles of each card so that we can go through the list without getting stopped, right? Mind you, you can switch up this land base provided you like, but I like having an additional tutor if I can. So we're definitely going to incorporate it. Remove from the game target permanent you own or control. Draw a card at the beginning of your next... Draw a card at the beginning of your next turn's upkeep. Of the next turn, so your opponent. Oh, no. I will draw a card now. Mage's Contest, mother. Chris, you have all my respect. This is a card I've never been bold enough to use. Mage's, if you were wondering if Red had counters, there was one before Tybalt's Trickery, which is there. It's a... I wish they would modernize Mage's Contest, but please use Bradley Williams art. Like, this art is just amazing. I like how this is how red mages contest spells. They give each other death stares. It's so good. But no, I've never used this card, and I don't think we'll use it here. Sorry. But let's go ahead and just remove some of the cards we feel are unnecessary for the cEDH build. Or effects that protect Blim. Thank you. It was Rogue's Passage. So Rogue's Passage is a land that just makes someone unblockable, and this could be, right? This could be viable. Mind you, I want to say that Blim being flying is probably going to be enough, and this is a lot of mana to do that effect. That player gains control. So the only issue here is that you can't allocate things to players that you're not hitting, per se. They really did give Blim a lot of hang-ups. It's on damage to a player. That player gains control of target permanent you control. So it has to be the individual you're attacking. So there might be some higher purpose for giving your creature unblockable or some form of like protection or something of that nature. Are we going to use Commander's Plate? Probably not. But it wouldn't hurt us to make sure that Blim can get in on anyone, because we don't want to be, told that we're only targeting, me as the player. Why are you only hitting me? It's like, well, that person's got a Crom and that person has a cast, and I would rather just like hit someone. So I'm sorry. So it makes sense to add in maybe a little bit of that. All right, let's remove some cards. I'm still not bold enough. Don't know what it is. Rakdos Charm. I like Rakdos Charm. I do like Rakdos Charm. We'll leave Rakdos Charm for now. For now. Goad all creatures you don't control. Until your next turn, those creatures attack each combat if able, and attack a player other than you if able. All right, so that's a pretty funny effect. I'm good on that one. Draw 3 cards and lose 3 life. I'm going to take out Ancient Cravings for now. Harmless Offering is going to stay, and we're going to look at other permanent U control effects. Like, I think Gains Permanent U control is probably the keyword we're going to look at. Gains Permanent U control. Because that's probably going to give us the most options within this field. Gains Permanent U control. Although there are cards that just produce things for your opponents. Oh my god, there's nothing. Okay. You may pay 0 rather than the echo cost. Gains protect. Okay, we're gonna have to look up something else. Thieves Auction, though. Set aside all cards in play. Starting with you, each player chooses one of the cards set aside and puts it into play, tapped under his. That is amazing. What is the modern wording of Thieves Auction? This will help us. Exile all non-token permanents. Starting with you, each player chooses one of the exiled cards and puts it onto the battlefield, tapped under their control. So the trick here is obviously you need to. It's tricky because you need to cast this. Fuck up the board, pardon my language, but that's what Thieves Auction is saying. I also hope that you guys don't use the same sleeves because that can get very confusing. Make sure your friends are using different colored sleeves. But you do this with all cards in play, and then you cast Blim, and then by some stroke of luck, maybe you took, what land did you take? You took the Hall of the Bandit Lord, right, from Kami, to give your Blim haste to then attack. Mind you, starting with you, each player puts it tapped under his control. You can't even do it. Sorry. Can you hear that banging? My neighbors have been banging all day. I feel like I should bang back. I need to bang back. Anyway, this is a little, I like it for what it is. I don't think it works though. I don't know if it works well enough. I could be crazy. After reading it, I'm not sure it works. Warp World. Each player shuffles all permanents he or she owns into his or her library, then reveals that many cards from the top of their library. Each player puts all artifacts, creatures, and lands revealed this way onto the battlefield, then does the same for enchantment cards, and puts all cards revealed this way that weren't put onto the battlefield onto the bottom of his or her. Let's take that one out for now. Take that one out. For each non-land permanent, choose a random player. Choose a player at random. Then each player gains control of each permanent for which... Oh, untapped. See now... So this kind of works, right? This is 8 CMC though. Oh god. Gains control. We just need to look up gains control, I think, is the way to do this. Gains control. There's got to be a lot, right? Okay, 206 is not a lot, but I do want to give us as many options as possible within this realm. I'd like to think that there've got to be other things. Right? Isn't there a land that also does this, like something fountain? Hold up, we gotta find the land that gives itself away, and we'll use it. I might have taken it out, and shame on me. Rainbow Veil, thank you. An opponent gains control of Rainbow Veil at the end of turn. This is good for Blim at the beginning. And an opponent gains control of Rainbow Veil at the beginning of next end step. Who decides? Who decides? The opponent is chosen at the end of turn triggered ability. You choose then. Okay. Whatever. It's reserved list. It's going to be your cheapest RL card. Okay? So we're going to put Rainbow Veil in there. I'll do that now. I'll do that now because I will forget Rainbow Veil. I told you that this list is all about chaos. It really is. Dreadhorde Invasion to gift cheap 1/1s everywhere. Ooh. Dreadhorde Invasion, you say? Well, let's do the give ownership things now because I've got it pulled up. Rainbow Veil. Right? So Rainbow Veil makes sense in my mind. Doesn't mean it's going to be the best card we have, but it makes sense in my mind. Yeah, okay. If you would roll a dice, yeah. When this creature dies, return to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control with a +1/+1 counter. Until the end of turn, target creature gains. Whenever this creature dies, return to the battlefield and tap. That's a really good card. Wow, Feign Death. Whenever Goblin Cadets block or become blocked, target opponent gains control of it. Well, it needs to survive that interaction, right? I don't think anyone's openly going to take Blim's Goblin Cadets. I don't think they're going to recruit these guys, as charming as they are. It's never going to happen. Okay. We're just going to look through some of these. Obviously, this is a lot. I don't know if... I think Gains Control is going to... Maybe Gain Control. Oh my god. Okay, we're going to do Gains Control just because it narrows it down a little bit. But let me know if there are any other control offering cards that we should use. Homeward Path in the land pool in case you have nothing good to give away. I love this thinking. The answer is yes. I think Homeward Path makes sense. We can go for at least one generic producing land outside of our double mana producers, City of Traders, Ancient Tomb. This makes a lot of sense. Thank you for that suggestion. But let's go ahead and just look through all of these, cover all of our bases, and make sure we're hitting all the low CMC ones, obviously. I would say that going up to 4 CMC most would be best in this category of giving things away because it's already 4 CMC for Blim, right? When Sleeper comes into play, target opponent gains control of it. So Sleeper Agent makes a lot of sense to me. And I don't know if Sleeper Agent's in here, but it's not. Okay, we'll do Sleeper Agent. Again, mind you, it's pretty weak, right? It's a 3/3. At the beginning of your upkeep, Sleeper Agent deals 2 damage to you. Now, why I like Zansha, right? This is Zansha before Zansha here, if I'm not mistaken. Does it use your name in the... This is Zansha. That's Zansha. So, it ETBs, you own it, they control it. That's really not bad. It's probably going to swing at you, but probably not. I would just tell the table you're not running ad nauseum, and hopefully they won't bother you. They might still attack you with it, though. Whenever another black creature enters the battlefield under control, target creature gains Intimidate. Until end of turn, wherever this creature dies, return to the battlefield under zone control. More Undying Malice. Look at you guys. Okay. I love these abnormal endurance type of effects. Okay. Let's see here. We've got Bazaar Trader already. And again, if you want to look at the list as we go along, be sure to check it out in the description. I should have left you a link to the list. And obviously, I'll try to save and keep it up to date. Demonic Lure. I'll look that up really quick, and then we'll keep going through this list. At the beginning of your end step, you lose 2 life for each card in your hand. Demonic Lure is good. Lure. Demonic Lure. You know, get all those devilish fish out of the water. That's a good card. That's a good card. Thank you for that suggestion. We will use Demonic Lure. I think that makes a great deal of sense. All right, going through the rest of these now. Bazaar Trader's in the deck. And we have... So... if we were to animate dead someone's creature, we would then control something we don't own. It's a weird problem to have, isn't it? It is a weird problem. Although we can doubly make someone control something they don't own, right? If I gave away the animate dead attached to the creature, enchant creature card in a graveyard. If it's on the battlefield, it loses... If I were to animate dead someone else's creature, attack with Blim, and then give a completely different person the animate dead Jin Cataxias, never. If I did that, this is a pile of confusion for me. Do I own the Jin? Do I control the Jin? No, I don't control the Jin. Who has the genie? At any rate, I'm gonna figure this one out. We'll figure this one out later. I don't want to think this hard right now. But that's a good question. Let me know. If you animate dead a thing and hand over the animate dead to someone else, it's attached to the creature, right? So the creature goes with it? Or do they just get an animate dead? I have no idea. Whenever a source you control, blah, not going to do that. Dragon Tempest enters the battlefield. Pirate you control, no, don't control those. Whenever a player plays an artifact, whenever a player plays an artifact, that player gains control of Drooling Ogre. Sure. This is very cEDH, I know. But remember, when Blim does the damage, damn it, you will all discard cards for me. That's what I'm hoping, right? So at the beginning of your upkeep, lose 1 life and amass 1. This is good. The Dreadhorde Invasion's good. I think someone suggested this already, right? But Dreadhorde Invasion makes a lot of sense to me. I think that there are some other token generators we also want to consider, Goblin and otherwise. So we'll look into those as well. Mind you, those are strictly fodder for Blim. Whenever an enchanted creature becomes target of a spell or ability of the player's, that spell or ability's controller gains control of enchanted creature. That's a little bit of an oddity, isn't it? Don't like that. Humble Defector. I don't know if these cards are in the deck. I'm just adding them. But we're going to add a Humble Defector. Sorry. For the Search and Scryfall, gain control, Commander Rakdos, 3 CMC, legal commander. Oh, I'm going to go ahead and probably stop at 3 or 4 CMC for our sakes. Animate Dead makes you control the enchanted... Animate Dead makes you control the enchanted creature. So if I were to hand off the Animate Dead, I still control the enchanted creature. Bitter Blossom makes flyers, so I think that's bad for Blim. Yeah, so I don't know if we're going to want to make the fairies. I think we'll probably want to stop at the goblin generators. At the beginning of your upkeep, Jinx Idol does 2 sacrifice a creature target player gains control of Jinx Idol. This is good in a scenario where we are producing tokens, but we don't produce tokens with Blim alone, so it's not good. It's not good, mate. If he was flying Trample Haste, he'd be so much better. Target creature you control gains... Okay, nope. We're actually moving along pretty quickly. There's not that many... What the hell was that? Shade's Breath. Until end of turn, each creature you control becomes black. It's creature type... No, it's kind of cool. I think we're good on that, though. Enters the battlefield from a graveyard. Target opponent gains control of it. When Treacherous Pit Dweller enters the battle, reanimate target anyone? No, that's too much. There's better things to do, I think, if we're going to reanimate that thing. I want to put Witchclaw Talisman in here, but we're not at that point. We're not at that stage, folks. We're not there yet, okay? I know you want to do it. I want to do it. Just not doing it yet. Target creature you control gains fit. Until end of turn, gain control of target creature against haste. Fatal Frenzy. Until end of turn, target creature. Nope. Dominating Vampire enters the battlefield. Gain control of target creature with mana value less than or equal to number of vampires. Okay, so you'd steal a dork. That's cute. Don't want that, though. Target goat you control. I think there's a goat napper combo, but I've never seen it played. Yeah. Gain control of target artifacts. We want to give stuff away. We want to give sweet, sweet stuff away. We'll look up create token in a second. But we're probably going to want to, again, make as many permanents as possible. Gain control target. Whenever an artifact enters the battlefield, at the beginning of your upkeep, if a player has more cards in hand than any other player, that player with the most cards in hand gains control of this dude. Again, I think 3 CMC might actually be our cap. It feels like anything over this is just a little much. Enters the battlefield, and opponent gains control of it. So this is 4, but it's generic. At the beginning of your upkeep, each opponent creates a... Okay, when it enters the battlefield, an opponent gains control of it. So I cast this, someone gets a Crone Horse. At the beginning of your upkeep, each opponent creates a 1/1 white soldier token. Again, because the tokens are being created under that player's control, they own it. So the only person really damned by this is the Crone Horse. But you are making tokens that you can there... I don't think a Crone Horse makes the cut. And again, I think right here is where we're going to stop. So I'll look up the token generators. And amass was a keyword that did it. If there are any other keywords that make tokens, let me know. I don't think so. Create creature? Create creature. Blank blue. And I'm actually okay with some of these. And we're going to look for a mana value like much, much lower. But I'm okay with these being non-permanents as well. It really just depends. Okay, I'll tune in with you guys. Bitter Blossom. Okay, yep. But when you make someone control Animate Dead, it doesn't change control. You keep control over the creature. Counterintuitive, I know. That's interesting. Thank you, Gustavo. Turgid would make sense, right? Turgid would make sense. I'll look at that really quick. Turgid's the lamp girl. Yeah. Okay. Also, Demonic Lore was a brilliant idea. Anything that has detrimental effects after a very positive effect is a totally viable option, so please keep suggesting those. Whenever an opponent sacrifices a non-token permanent or discards a permanent, you may put that card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. Yes and no. Yes and no. Let's make some tokens, though. Let's make some tokens, though. What do you think? You want to make some tokens with me? Y'all want to make some tokens? Oh my god. Make a pack to give someone a 4/4 giant. Sokenzan. Crucible of Defiance. It defies all general knowledge to use this to channel to give it away. Put a 5/5 legendary demon spirit creature token on the battle. Is there a token for Urami? I don't think so. It's not worth it then. There's got to be a designated token for me to want it. Do we use there are good token generators, I promise, like reoccurring token generators. I don't want to think about it. I just want to make them, okay? I just want to make them, and hopefully like Coldrelita's Rebirth, like something like that is kind of sweet in my opinion. Essential cost to sacrifice an artifact, sure. Oh, just Lab Rat, infinite mana Lab Rat, give away all the rats. One at a time, that is. So you get to leverage them. Of course, for the Grave Lord, yeah, no. Release the Gremlins, though. That's a good way to, release your opponents from their artifacts and make tokens. Is this a Retrofit or Foundry deck? I don't think so. Oh, Sacromancy. This is a cube card. At the beginning of your upkeep, if there are no zombies on the battlefield, Sacromancy deals 1 damage to you. Done. Done. Sarcomancy. Sold. 100% sold on Sarcomancy. It's 2 things to give away for the price of 1. Is it good? It's not great, but it's good enough. Just make sure you give away the Sarcomancy first. Keep the 2/2 zombie. Give away the Sarcomancy first. And unless they're doing like some sort of zombie strategy, then I think you'll be fine. There's goblins that attack and create tokens, like Rabblemaster. We're going to get to them. Those are going to be the interesting ones. Whenever a non-token modified creature you control dies, oh my god, too many words for me to care. I agree on Bitter Blossom being a little counterintuitive. I say no to that. I do think that the snake tamer, the girl that generates death touchy snakes, that's not a horrible idea. Maybe giving away too many of those would be bad though. Although you generate them every turn. Oh, that's so good. No, we do want her. The Snake Mancer. What's her name? Slaughter Specialist. The only Blim deck I've seen was Fart Joke Tribal. Well, Hitzel, you're in for a surprise. I think Treacherous Blessing dies when you try and give it no. I don't know about Treacherous Blessing. Draw 3 cards and make an opponent live whenever they cast something. Ignore the Pyro, it's in the deck. Oh, thanks. Crown of Doom. Oh yes, I'm sorry. There's so many good suggestions here. I will look up Crown of Doom really quick because I don't remember what Crown of Doom does. Whenever a creature attacks, target player other than Crown of Doom's owner gains control of it. Activate this ability only during your turn. That's 5 CMC. Whenever a creature attacks you or planeswalker gains control, that's pretty dope though. That's 5 mana. That's a lot of mana. It's no Sarcomancy. Let me say that. Whenever this creature attacks, put a 1/1. There you go. There you go. Tapped and attacking. Hold the front door. If I equip Blim with Captain's Claws, I am generating on the attack a core ally creature token onto the battlefield, tapped and attacking whomever, and then I give that away on damage. Captain's Claws. I'm the captain. Blim's the captain. Trust me. Trust me. It's going to be great. You're going to love it. You're going to love the way you look. All right. If it dies, has 3 or greater power, nah. Dousing Dagger, Target opponent creates. No, don't want that. Don't want any spell like that. Ooh, Drog's Helm. Drog's a really cool dude. Draugr, that is. I didn't forget his name. Never mind. We didn't want that card. Drudge spell. Remove the game 2 creature. Nah. Genesis Chamber. Whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield, and this is everyone, untapped creature controller creates a... Nah. Too much value, bruh. Too much value. You can't do that sort of thing. It's not a good thing to do. Whenever one or more non-token creatures dies, no, it's too slow. No, don't want that. Don't want that. Don't want any of these. Any of these. We're not giving away 5/5 dragons, okay? I know it sounds interesting. Also, these horrors, these hunted creatures, comes into play. Put target opponent creates. Yeah, okay. Don't want that. Whenever you generate now. At the beginning of your end step, if you control no creature with Decayed, create a 2/2 black creature token with Decayed. Jadar, you might have made the cut. You might have made the cut, buddy. This might be the only deck for you. Probably not, though. We're probably going to cut him. But he's there for now. Ooh, how about Menace and flying? Whenever equipped creature attacks, defending player sacrifices creature. If they do, create a walker token. Lucille. Oh, if you weren't 4 to equip, I would be all over you. Like blood on a nailed bat. All right. Oh, sorry. Ophiomancer. Thank you. Ophiomancer. Ophiomancer. She is so good. Wasn't there new art for Ophiomancer? Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, we're using it. Oh, it's going to foil. Yes. I don't know if they come foil. I want it, though. Yeah, so we're doing that. Giving tokens away like creatures feels like a bad idea, but even still, I like it. Just spread the love, spread the damage. Hopefully they don't form a pact and only attack you. That would really suck. But it, you know, I wouldn't blame them. Goblin is like Goblin Rabblemaster 3 CMC. We're gonna look at some other creatures here in a second, but I remember there being 3 CMC creatures that do this. Which is battlefield, create a 1/1 color stopper artifact creature, sacrifice an artifact. I've not seen this card. I don't know why. Sacrifice an artifact, choose 1. Exile the top card of your library until the end of turn. Oh, you're so bad. You're so bad. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good on that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the offer. It was very sweet. I'm going to have to pass, though. With Defender? Yo, Duretti. Duretti. You're not so bad, my friend. You're not so bad. I've always wanted to own this Mythic Edition. Might be worth it. Whenever a creature you control dies, put a corpse counter on the thing. Just not interested in that. Just not interested. Sorry. This is a lot of just like research. Hope this is exciting for you as it is for me. But there is a lot to go into this deck. I don't know if the myth, the legend, Rabblemaster makes sense or Goblin Assault makes sense. Goblin creatures you control attack each turn, yada yada yada. It's not so bad. Now, mind you, the fact is like a lot of these the players can just block with these tokens and get rid of things they don't control or own rather. So we're going to want to give away other things. So I think the enchantment route that Chris was going made a great deal of sense. Just love my neighbors. Love them knocking on the ceiling. I hope you can't hear that because I hear it every day. I don't know what they're doing. Visit them a few times. Lovely people. All right. Coveted Jewel. Ooh, Coveted Jewel's a lot to give, though. I get that. Grid monitor. Grid monitor. Grid monitor. Okay, I'm sorry. This is where we look at your suggestions. Gridmon. You can't play creature spells. You can't play creature spells. 4 CMC. You can't. You can't. What can't I do? Isn't there a cheaper one? I think there's a cheaper one that's in the deck. You can't play creature spells. Destroy target permanent you own. Just give someone Despotic Scepter. Just like, you do it for me. Destroy the thing for me. Shrouded Lore. Thran Turbine. Thran Turbine's pretty dope. I've not found a deck for it, but it's one of those dope cards. I like the idea of someone can't doing things. I really do like that. Oh, who are these guys? Young Way recruits. Love it. Wait a minute. To send common people to war. Okay, sorry. Corrosion. During your upkeep, put a rust counter on. No. No. Not doing that. Not doing it. Ensnaring Bridge. When Flameskull dies, exile it. If you do, exile the top card of your library. That's cool. That's a cool looking card. I don't know how I feel about it though. You can't. So there's Steel Golem, right? So that we've got Steel Golem. I'm almost with you on the monitor. I think the 4 CMC is just rough. There's rough times, people. I do want the Swiftfoot boots, and I do want the Lightning Greaves. Lightning Greaves. We have to go for the Corgi edition. I only recognize the Corgi edition in foil. Okay. Forbidden Orchard doesn't work, I think. Yeah, it wouldn't work. Is a Chrono Horse good or too slow? I'm going to put it in the too slow category. Eben Drake. Eben Drake is my name. Whenever a player plays a spell, whenever a player casts a spell, you lose 1 life. Eben Drake. You lose. Let's look at you lose. How about that? Let's look up you lose. How you like that? A lot of you losers out there. Not you guys. There's a lot of you lose cards. I'm interested in them. I'm very interested. Imperial Seal. I do like that. Reaper's Talisman. All the skulls from that set. A++++. I'm not sure we're going to find anything here. All right, let me save and continue this sucker real quick. Let's see here. I don't want to be on Streamlabs. There we go. All right, so let's go ahead and look at the deck. And we're going to remove some cards that don't make sense for a cEDH version of the deck. I think this is a good way to start our journey. And then we can go from here and make the perfect deck. For each non-land permanent, choose a player. Then each player gains control of each permanent here. We get rid of that for now. Feed the Swarm. Feed the Swarm. Sure. Shadow Skull Smashing, Demonic Tutor, Vandal Blast. Our land base is looking healthy. Our land base is looking very healthy. I'm going to get rid of one of these. I don't know which one. Probably Urza Saga. Probably Urza Saga. Definitely Urza Saga. Now, mind you, Urza Saga is still good here, but I'm gonna remove it just because I don't want to think that hard. How about that? Is that okay? Demonic Lore is in the deck. Chris knew. Chris knew. And we doubted. We doubted Chris, people. Why? Why would you do that? Okay, so Saran Dynamo. Saran Dynamo is good enough. Not sure what. Oh, Saran Dynamo is in there for those big spells. We don't got any more big spells. We're not using big spells. Are we using big spells? We might be using some big spells. Okay, well, let's reconsider Saran Dynamo. Remove 2 cards from a graveyard from the game, draw a card. That's pretty tight. If you would be dealt damage, put that much damage, remove a card in your graveyard from the game and prevent when there are no cards in your graveyard, you lose the game. Remove 2 cards in a graveyard from the game. I do like Immortal Coil. I like what's happening with Immortal Coil, but I don't like what can happen with Immortal Coil. I'm going to remove that for now. Actually, I do like this card, though. I think that's really interesting. Like, if you could do that really quickly, really quickly. That's pretty awesome. At the end of your turn, discard your hand, right? So that's a little too cruel to do to one person. Jinxed Choker, right? This is the same thing as like a Jinxed Idol. At the end of your turn, target opponent gains control of Jinxed Choker and puts a charge counter on it. At the beginning of your upkeep, Jinxed Choker deals damage to you equal to the number of charge counters on it. Put a charge counter on Jinxed Choker or remove one from it. I don't mind Jinxed Choker. But mind you, you do need to wait. You would play this out early and then play our boy and then reap the benefit of... it's a little too slow. Skull of Orm. No. A Whisper Silk Cloak. If it ain't knocking in, it's that. This rarely happens, though. You guys are lucky. You don't have to put up with as much New York as I do. Whisper Silk Cloak. It can't be blocked, has Shroud. I do like Whisper Silk Cloak. There's a different version of this card that I like a little bit better. It's this one. Still not going to use it. Darksteel Plate. I'm not going to use it. Commander Sphere. Not going to use it. Trailblazer Booties. It's just not as good as having a sweet, sweet old Swiftfoot Boots. I understand why we want to make our boy unblockable. I'm going to look into alternative forms of unblockability. Although, I do like that... No, okay. I'm not going back on my word. Copy, target, triggered ability you control. You may choose new targets for the copy. Hold up. Hold the front door. Is this only activated, or is it also triggered? Copy triggered. Copy triggered abilities is a smart idea. I don't know if there's going to be a better one or an equivalently good one. No. No, Stronic Resonator is probably as good as it gets. Okay, the Resonator is gonna have to work for now. Rakdos Signet. Probably want to throw in a Felwar Stone before the Sig. Equipped creature can't be blocked except by walls. I'm good on that. Mask of Avacyn. Has Hexproof. I'm gonna skip on that. Skipping on that. Oh, there's 2 Lightning Greaves. Even tapped out considers Lightning Greaves with the Corgi on it a different type of Greave. Interesting. Interesting that it does that. Or maybe it's just because the art I chose. Either way, I'm gonna say it's what I said it was. Discard a card up to 1 target creature can't be blocked this turn. Okay, well, hope I don't have Lightning Greaves out. Becomes untapped. You may pay 2. If you do, draw a card. We'll keep that for now. Bloodthirsty Blade. If it attacks each combat if able and attacks a player other than... attach Bloodthirsty Blade to... Yeah, I like that. Attach Bloodthirsty Blade to target creature and opponent controls. Opponent controls. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Target opponent... opponent controls. Let's just look at opponent controls really quick. You know me. I like a good keyword or two. I don't think this is going to help us much, but I'm still going to look at it right quick. Okay. Howling Mine. I'm going to pass on the Howling Mine. It is draw, though. I understand where you're going with that. Manifold Key is cool. Manifold Key is cool. Despotic... I was joking about Despotic Scepter. Bury target permanent you own. I'm going to not bury a permanent I own, but I like where your head's at, Chris. At the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice an artifact other than a Rust Elemental. It can't tap. If you can't, Rust Elemental hits you right in the Juji Fruit. All right, Rusty. I like Rust Elemental. Okay. How dare you all doubt me? No, there's no doubt, Chris. There's no doubt. Is Coveted Jewel even worth considering? I don't think so. Treacherous Blessing. You just said 2 words I love. Treacherous. Treacherous Blessing, you say? Any day now. Whatever you guess is... Yaha! I can touch you now. Treacherous Blessing becomes target of spelling. Yes, Treacherous. Yes. Yes. I'm going to put it in there. I don't know if it's in there already, but it's happening. It's not. Chris, after I affirmed that we didn't doubt you. Treacherous blessing. Yes, more treacherous blessings, please. More treacherous blessings, please. Right? Okay. Scourge of Numai. Scourge of Numai, you say? Probably a couple of these. Okay. Only because it's 4 CMC, I'm going to say no. I like Rust Bucket just a little bit more. I really do. Demonic. Again, we want to make the best deck for Chris, okay? Demonic Taskmaster. At the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice a creature other than... Yes. Yes. I like it. I like it. Let's just hope this doesn't come down before, after our Dark Confidant, right? So we're going to add a Dark Confidant. And then we're going to add the Demonic Taskmaster. To any French audience members, did I even sound remotely French? Probably not. I'm really just making a fool of myself. You can't pass Treacherous Blessing. Son of a bitch. It gets sacrificed as soon as Blim targets you. Get out of here. Get out of here. The player gains control of target permanent. You're right. And like I said, Chris, I never doubted you. Wait, it gets sacrificed as soon as Blim targets it. It's still 3 mana, draw 3. Well, it doesn't work on the pass. I understand. Okay, so I understand what everyone is saying. Whenever you cast a spell, you lose 1 life. If it's a 3 mana draw 3 we're looking for, sure. But whenever Treacherous Blessing becomes a target of a spell or ability, sacrifice it. So, is there another way we can exchange Treacherous Blessing? Is there another way we can exchange it? I think it's always going to be a target effect. I'm going to sideline it for now. Chris, no doubts. There were no doubts from me, okay? There were no doubts from me. All right, so blim, blam, boom. We got everything in the room except a sweet load of fast mana. So we're gonna work on the fast mana, sweet. So we've got the grid monitor and the rust elemental. I was iffy on the grid monitor, and I know it was suggested earlier. I do like it. I don't hate it. At the beginning of your draw step, draw an additional card. At the beginning of your end step, discard your hand. This is the same thing as the card we nixed, except I think that card was also 4 something. I'm going to pass. I'm going to pass on the Avarice Dragon only because it's flying. We're never going to attack that person again. I like these 4. I like the 4 CMC generic boys. I do. But again, the Acroan Horse... It's no Ophiomancer. I'm sorry, it's no Ophiomancer. At the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice an artifact. This is a good card, though. Rust Elemental is really good against that proactive deck. You just nip them in the bud. You just nip them right in the nuts. You can't win the game, and your opponents can't lose the game. I do like the Flample Abysmal Persecutor. I do like it, said Sam I am. We're going to keep that for now. Plague Reaver is a cutie. Plague Reaver is a real cutie boy. This Ophiomancer, oh my god. Can we just admire this for a second? This is so good. Her writhing, boneless movements are unsettling to humans, but hypnotic to nerds and serpents alike. Agreed. Agreed, flavor text. I don't know what Nettling Imp says, and it was too difficult to read for me, so I'm going to look it up. Choose target non-wall creature the active player controls continuously since the beginning of turn. Oh my god. That creature attacks this turn of Fable. Destroy it at the beginning of the next end step if it didn't attack this turn. That's right, you must attack, Arbor Elf. Llanowar Elf. Activate only during an opponent's turn before attackers are declared. That is a lot. That is a lot. Choose target non-wall creature. Active player controls continuously. I know that there's a reason you own this beta Nettling Imp. I'm going to take this one out, though. Demonic Taskmaster. At the beginning of the upkeep, sacrifice a creature other than Demonic Taskmaster. Drooling Ogre, Humble Defector, yes, all good. At the beginning of the end step, if you control no creatures with Decayed, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token with Decayed. Now, my only issue with Jadar is the fact that Jadar is a 1/1. And I know you didn't put this here, Chris. Some idiot typed in Jadar. I'm gonna take out Jadar for now. Sarcomancy, though, that's gold. Sarcomancy's gold. Gotta keep the Sarcomancy. We're gonna save and continue editing. Okay. Confusion in the ranks would work with blessing. Confusion in the ranks. Can we just look at confusion in the ranks in general? Hoover. Wretched Anorid with our token creators. I will look at that in a second. Whenever an artifact, creature, or enchantment comes into play, its controller chooses target permanent. Good with confusion in the ranks. Wretched Anorid. Let's see what this looks like. Oh! Ooh, Onslaught Foils, baby boy. Onslaught Foils. Whenever another creature comes into play, you lose 1 life. Zombie Beast. Ah, shit. Yes. Yes. Wow. Yeah, I like that one. I do like that one. Form of Dragon. I'm going to pass on the Form of Dragon. Captive Audience, though. This is a goofy one. At the beginning of your upkeep, choose one that hasn't been chosen. You lose 4 life. You discard your hand. Each opponent creates 5 2/2 black zombie creature tokens. That is... There's some hilarity to be had there. I'm going to keep Captive Audience as a legacy card. The fact that it's here and I like it, I'm going to keep it. You can't lose the game. I don't like these lose the game ones. I feel like those are going to fall. Those are going to... We're going to fall on our own Blim sword. Like, we're not going to get to the punchline with those. I don't think so. Whenever you play a card, draw a card. Your maximum hand size is 2. That's cute to pass around. It's 6 CMC, though. Risky move. Chris, I love the research that went into this deck. The fact that you're using Risky Move. Again, I applaud you. I applaud you. We're going to take a halftime here. A very brief halftime so I can just collect my thoughts with you. Cheers to you, Chris. Thank you. Thank you for Risky Move. I'll read it aloud. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player gains control of Risky Move. When you gain control of Risky Move from another player, choose a creature you control and an opponent. Flip a coin. If you lose the flip, that opponent gains control of that creature. Someone's going to take Blim, right? I don't know what happens. I don't think it's good, though. I don't think it's good. All right, how are you guys doing? This has been an interesting one. We definitely extended that show before the show for a hot minute there, so gonna try to hurry this train up. I understand we got a lot of stations to hit, a lot of people that need to get off. However, Risky Move is probably not in the cards for us. I'm gonna take that one out. Although, again, Onslaught Foils, love them. Thieves Auction, oh my god. Okay, so I am looking for you to help me get Chris the best Blim deck he's ever seen. And we got a lot to put in this list still. A lot of tutors, a lot of fast mana. So we need to cut some more stuff. And I would say at least 15 cards. Because there's a deflecting SWAT that deserves to be in this list. There's a couple of cards that deserve to be here, and we're going to figure this out together. Yawgmoth's Agenda. If a card would be put into your graveyard from anywhere, remove it from the game instead. You may play cards in your graveyard as though they were in your hand. Play no more than 1 spell each turn. It's too much. Witch Hunt, though. Witch Hunt? This hunt. At the beginning of your upkeep, Witch Hunt deals 4 damage to you. Sure. Players can't gain life. Who cares? At the beginning of your end step, target opponent chosen at random gains control of Witch Hunt. We'll keep Witch Hunt for now. Whenever Flake has a spell, Possibility Storm is just a dickish thing to do. I'm gonna put it away. This really hurts me to do. Whenever you would draw a card, instead return target card from your graveyard to your hand. If you can't, lose the game. Oh God, D. Alexander Gregory's art again. I love it. I'm gonna have to pass on some of these though. Trove of Temptation. Each opponent must attack you or planeswalker you control with at least one creature each combat if able. At the beginning of your end step, create a colorless treasure token. No, we're not going to do that. For each 1 damage dealt to you or 1 life you lose, sacrifice a permanent you control or choose and discard a card from your hand. You cannot sacrifice those to Lindor. Ignore this effect. If you control no... oh my God. So many words. We're going to keep it. You lose the game. Don't want that. And just battlefield with 7 hour counters. At the beginning of your draw step, draw an additional card and remove 2 hour counters from... Maximum hand size is equal to the number shit. Whenever you discard a card, you lose 1 life. So is the idea to get the draw and then give this away? I'm good. Midnight Oil, I just don't feel like burning it. Whenever another card is put into a graveyard from anywhere target opponent gains control. At the end of your turn, sacrifice measure weakness. I feel like you're just going to be passing the measure the whole time. I don't like to lose the game. No, I'm not going to do lose the game. You may look at entries play remove the top 7 cards in your library from the game face down. You may look at and play cards removed from the game with Culver's plan. Skip your draw step. That's awesome. I like that one. I'm only keeping this one because I didn't want to read it. I find Phyrexian Arena acceptable. Although I will state that Dark Tutelage is the bee's knees, and we should probably put that in there. Pyromancer's Swath. If insert sorcery would... Didn't feel like reading it. It attacks each combat if able and attacks a player other than you if able. Whenever enchanted... Not gonna do it. Vow of Lightning. Creature gets +2/+2 and you can't... I'm gonna do that. I don't want to... Yep, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do Vow of Mouse. Nope, I'm gonna do that. Not gonna do that. Okay, so Custody Battle. At the beginning of your upkeep, target opponent gains control of a creature unless you sacrifice a land. Oh my God, of this creature. I like that. Blood Funnel is a tricky little dickie, I gotta tell you. But if we're gonna play Blood Funnel, we need them creature tokens. Creature token generators. We don't have enough creature token generators, if I'm being frank with you. And I'm only ever frank. Oh, we got a lot of cards to throw in here. Okay, so let's throw some cards in here. Which is a good old gamble. Imp's Mischief or not? No, Imp's Mischief for sure. Okay. The last text of Pyromancer's Swath has an opponent discard their hand. I believe you. I think the only thing I saw was Soul Ring. So here's how we cEDHify a list. We do Mox Diamond. We do Chrome Mox. We do Mana Crypt and Mana Vault for this list. That'll make sense. We'll also do Grim Monolith, because I'm feeling crazy. We're going to do Felwar Stone. We're going to do a Talisman of dirty feelings, dirty thought. Talisman of what is it? Indulgence. Yes, indulgence. That's what I was trying to say the whole time. Jeweled Lotus. Jeweled Amulet. Why not? Jeweled Amulet. We'll do Lotus Petal. Yes. All of these. Did I miss a 0-drop one? I think I might have missed a 0-drop. A Lion's Eye Diamond. Give them a Lion's Eye Diamond. I own a Lion's Eye Diamond and I'm not playing it. It's good enough reason to give it away, isn't it? Well, we're not going to do that. Okay, so we're going to save this. I don't want to save this out yet. I think that this is all of the artifact mana that I wanted to include that wasn't there, but I can't say with absolute certainty. I do want to add some more fast mana, though. Simeon's Spirit Guide. Yes, need the Spirit Guide. We're also going to incorporate a Jessicasville. Jessicasville is good, yes. We want to Rite of Flame. Rite of Flame is good. We want to do a Desperate Ritual, a Pyretic one. Why not? Why not, I say? Are there any other offbeat, like Songs of the Damned kind of rituals you can think of? I don't know if I saw a Dark Ritual, but Dark Ritual fulfills the requirement of Blim's 2 generic and 1 black, right? Same thing with Cabal Ritual. There's no ad nauseum strategy here, trust me. I looked. Doesn't exist. Let's just see what we got. Oh, we need to add some toots. Gonna need to add some toots, trust me. You wanna build this deck, you're gonna need to add some toots. And we're gonna need to add a lot of toots. Someone said Gamble. Jambles is a must. Demonic Tutor I saw. Imperial Seal I did not see. Vampiric Tutor I did not see. Wishclaw Talisman. Oh, it's in there now. Oh, it's in there now. Mox Opal, maybe? Useful. We'll just put it in there. Okay, so we got all that. Dark Ritual, thank you. Skull Clamp with those tokens, anyone? Yes! Skull Clamp. I do like a good old Skull Clamp. I like a good old Skull Clamping. Is that 1 word or 2 words? Dude, what a heartbreaker. My Chiefs lost the AFC Championship game. Watching this will heal my heart. Steven, I'm sorry. Was there a game tonight? Man, that explains the... Yeah, I didn't realize I was picking the wrong Sunday. I'm sorry to hear that, though. Imp's Mischief, though. Imp's Mischief is going in. Hopefully this will cheer your heart. I'm just losing my mind over this one because this is such a weird strategy and such a weird deck. It's very much like Tiny Bones, where it's all about negativity. It's all about not being positive. We want to make people card negative. So, and in a very odd way, like a very Zedru way. Oh, my lordy, lordy, lord. The last text, yes, I know. We do want more token generators. It was the one that makes the goblins. We also want to do Imperial Recruiter. Sorry. These things are just hitting me in the moment. Oh my god, is there a Dockside Extortionist? Not to say it's the best card in the world. It's helpful, though. We got that. Hold up. Hear me out. Listen up. Okay, we're going to do Fork. We're going to do Reverberate. We're going to do a Pyroblast. I'm going to spell it one day. We're going to do Red Elemental Blast. Check it out, check it out, check it out. Stay with me now. Then we're going to do Dual Caster Mage, because this boy, there's nothing he can't doubly cast, trust me. And on top of that, right on top of that shit, we're going to do Twin Flame. And we're going to do Heat Shimmer. You know why? Because I like more options to combo, baby. You know what? We're going to do Underworld Breach. I just wrote down Underworld, but there's a breach there. Okay. We're going to do Underworld Breach. And we're going to do a Grinding Station. And, say it with me now, Ether Flux, a Reservoir. Okay. Why? Because I gotta add in a combo. I gotta add in a couple of combos here, okay? It wouldn't be cEDH if there wasn't a combo. So, and that may or may not be true. It's true. Finish the game, people. Finish the game. I don't care that you can stop a game from happening, but finish the game. Okay? Your little Selesnya stacks list? Fucking finish the game. You gonna be able to do that? No? We will, though. Blim, blam, boom. That's how the comedic genius puts the boom in this deck. 59% competitive, I'll take it. I was shooting for 69, but we are close. Let me look at this. I feel like we're over 100, just by a little. Let's figure this out. You, me, Dupree, we're all gonna figure this out. No, that is Turgrid. Deflecting and oh my god! Why do you gotta make it 108, Tommaso? Damn it, with the good suggestions. Those are actually really good cards too. That I just purposefully omitted. Deadly Roll? No. No. Deflecting Swat. Ricochet Trap. Damn it. Abrade. Gotta have an Abrade. Is that it? We're going to pretend that's it. Okay. All right. Let's cut this down and play the shite out of this deck. We need to cut 10 cards, people. And every card in this deck is a banger. There is nothing we want to cut. Trust me. I've looked. I've done the math. There's nothing we would ever want to cut. Maybe that. Just except for that. It's probably the one thing. But nothing else. The Jeweled Amulet. Yeah, wasn't really calling me. Okay, but nothing else. We're going to keep a deck with 108 cards and people are just going to have to deal with it. Target attached bloodthirsty is a creature not put in controls. I don't know. It's good enough. Damn it. I don't like settling. It's not true. I do settle for good enough often. Harmless Offering, though, it makes sense. I'm not saying it doesn't make sense, okay? I hear you screaming at your monitor telling me, why did you take out Harmless Offering, Pat? It's cute. It's an Eldrazi cat. Give it to someone. I just don't want to. I don't want to. I'm sorry. I'm not doing that. Rakdos Charm just never pulls enough weight, in my opinion. I like it. If it does in your group, play it, but it doesn't for mine. Damn it, Tainted Pacts. I said something about adding Tainted Pacts at the beginning of this video. Again, I'm losing my mind with this deck. There's so much weird shit in here that we need to keep. So it's like, I can't make sense of it. I can't make sense of it, but we're gonna do it together as we play test this. I promise it's gonna make sense to at least one of us. All right, so we got this. Yes, cause will. It's your fault you put the C in my EDH. Sorry. Could you play Oppression in this deck? Steven, for you? To cheer you up? I will. Whenever a player plays a spell, that player discards a card from his or her hand. Steven, I wanted to put it in there for you. I wanted to put it in there, but I couldn't. I'm sorry. I understand where you're coming from, but I don't like it. I don't like it. It just makes me feel icky, okay? I don't want to feel icky anymore. I need to look up Oath of Lindul. I'm sorry. I don't know if it's good. Shit, there's too many people giving oaths. Whenever you lose life, each one life you lost, sacrifice a permanent. Oh my god. That is awful. I can see why you want to give that away, but that's one of those things where you're going to fall in your own Coffliner's Plans, okay? Whenever Coffliner's Plans comes into play, remove the top 7 cards of your library from the game. You may look at and play those cards removed from the game with Coffliner's Plan. It doesn't matter if you own this anymore, presumably. Skip your draw step. That sucks. You can't play more than one spell each turn. That also sucks. All these things kind of suck, but I like what Coffliner's Plan does. I like it a lot. I said I wanted to put in Dark Tutelage. That means I'm not going to keep Phyrexian Arena because it's not as good as Dark Tutelage. Mark me. Mark my words. Dark Tutelage is better. It passes the Mana Crypt test. Okay? The Mana Crypt test. It really tells you, it's a make or break test. It lets you know if you're cEDH or not. Can your shit be cast on turn 1 with Mana Crypt? Like the Sophiomancer? I can turn 1 this with Mana Crypt. It passes the Mana Crypt test. It is a good card. It's a good card regardless. But that's what the Mana Crypt test is, if you're wondering. Oh, Witch Hunt. Captive Audience. Gosh. Get rid of that. It's too expensive. We got a Dark Confidant in here, so we got to get rid of that. Actually, and I'm sorry. I know people like... I know which versions of this card people like, but I like this version the most. I'm sorry. We're going to use this one. I like this one the most. I like this one the most. I like it a lot. We gotta get some more cards here. We have no Reanimator strategy at all. We have no Reanimator strategy and we're in black. This just feels wrong. It feels wrong. Blood Funnel we're gonna get rid of. 3 more cards. 3 more cards. Please God, 3 more cards. Just point them out for me. What do you guys... Oh, Feomancer is sick. She is sick. Laughing at fair enough. I just saw this card and thought, man, that would hurt. It does hurt. Steven, and I do use it in I did use it in Tiny Bones, so like it does hurt, trust me. It hurts. We're gonna try to do that ourselves though, manually, like a boss, okay? I don't know if it's gonna work. It's probably not. We're gonna try. Okay. Oh my God. These are all good cards. Except for, yeah, call me crazy. I'm going to cut Jessica's Will because we kind of want to cast it after Blim's out anyways. Oh, damn it. But the thing is, one combo relies on the combat step, so we'll need to have done it. The mana from Jessica's Will can go to fuel the Heat Shimmer / Dualcaster Mage thing, right? And that's probably enough. And like, if we're not going to include Seething Song, then let's at least add that. We need to cut 3 cards. This is very difficult. Okay, like I said earlier, I don't like the Signets. I'm sorry, I don't like them. They're icky. They make me feel icky. Okay? I'm getting rid of it. I want to say we can get rid of Grim too, but I'm such a greedy boy. I'll get rid of it. Uno más. Uno más. Come on, people. Come on. What is calling you? Tell me. You can't... We don't need to give away the Abyssal Persecutor immediately, but I feel like Abyssal Persecutor is just cramping my style, man. It's cramping my style. I don't like it. You agree to cut Will? Oh, shit, Tommaso, I let you down. Okay, so let me just, we're gonna take a another little heartwarming halftime. This deck, Chris, if you're still watching, this deck is very nearly there. It is almost 100%. But the thing is, it's difficult to do what Blim wants. Okay, he's a very demanding comic. His stand-up routine requires a lot of moving parts, and there's not very many places outside of Vegas that can host a show like this. So, to be as accommodating as possible, I think that this is the route I navigated towards because it has enough material for him to play with, but I'm not sure it's going to work exactly like we're thinking. However, I'm going to try. I do think Jessica's Will, yes and no, has a space here. I'm going to keep it because it's universally accepted as amazing, but it's not always necessary. Just because a card's amazing, like Necropotence, that's not here, doesn't mean it belongs in every list. But Jessica's Will, I think, belongs for now. All right. Don't get me wrong, Will is insane. Okay. Last poll question. Do you think Blim will be ooh, yeah, yes, no? Okay. Let's test this shit out. Okay. This is an interesting hand. It really provides us with little. I'm gonna keep it. Yeah, it's very, very slow. Blim is very expensive. There's stuff we can do here. We have interaction, right? Which is the one thing I said that more people need to have. We've got a way to do things quickly with this. We've got a tutor. Yeah. Let's get some fast mana. I like fast mana. This is acceptable. Man, I really wish we had a reanimate. I really wish we had a reanimate, but we don't. We're gonna keep this. Okay. We'll do this into this. Yes, we'll do that. Okay. Next turn, we are going to cast, not the dark side. We're going to wait. We're going to save our pennies. Okay? I'm going to save them pennies. Save them pennies. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? We're gonna do this though. We'll put the verdant cats out. I think we'll break that and get our, oh my god, Badlands. Get them baddies. Get them baddies. Demonic Lure is really calling me, and I gotta tell you, like, yes, we could Blim much sooner than I'm allowing, but I don't think it's time. We'll play this slowly, okay? We're in there for the long haul. We've got the Sleeper Agent. We'll Blood Crypts, and we'll take the damage, right? I'm not gonna track this. I'll do that, but I'm not gonna track it very much. Comes to the play, target opponent can. So here's what we can do that's interesting. So this is an ETB. So Sleeper Agent ETBs, and we can determine whether we want to eat her or not. Right, so we could just eat her right here for 2 black. I think that what we'll do, this is turn 3, I'm going to cast the Sleeper Agent with the ETB on the stack. I'm going to eat her for 2 black. And then I'm going to go ahead and cast loop with the red. Let's just do the red in this. What the hell? We'll do a red to cast the Pyretic Ritual. This is too much mana. I'm making too much mana. It doesn't matter. Let's just cast all the things. We'll do a Dockside Extortionist. Again, this is overkill, what I'm doing here. We really should have just did something else, but I tapped the things. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. Bloom, bloom. Now we make treasures. On turn 3, I would say this is generating at least, and don't do this at home, kids, but I'm going to go ahead and just say that we're making 6 treasures. That's 2 red, 2 black. 1 generic, sure. I'll cast Blim. We're going to use a 1 generic, 1 black, and then we'll do 1 red, 2 red, 2 red. 2 red, you say? We'll do a Twin Flame to copy the Dockside Extortionist. And let's just hope no one plays a Null Rod. So use one of these. We'll make another Dockside Extortionist. Again, this may or may not have been the best route. It's probably not the best route. We'll do the Twin Flame, make another Dockside Extortionist. I just want to cast my damn hand. Okay. So we'll cast this. 1, 2, 3. Draw 3 cards. Did I do anything to make me shuffle? I don't think so. We'll cast a Mox Opal. We'll cast a Wishclaw Talisman. I have Voldaren Estate in here. I don't know why. Oh. Ignore the Voldaren Estate, please. We're going to lose 2 life for each card in your hand. Again, this is why I said not to do this. It's fine. Just forgo that. Now, the thing is, I can actually Wishclaw. What's good about Wishclaw is that you give it away, you could try, we get to do the Blim thing. So we're going to give the Wishclaw away. We're going to remove a counter, and I'm going to find Lightning Greaves. Right, so I'm going to give this away. That's someone else's thing now. And I'm going to cast the Lightning Greaves. I'm going to equip this to Blim. I'm going to swing with Blim. And I'm going to give this away. Okay, cool. This is much better. This seems like a better play, right? All right. So you're going to sweep. You go to 38. Oh my God, so much health. We'll go to 38. We'll go get 6 treasures. How many treasures? Let's just 6 treasures? 6 treasures, whatever. We had 6 treasures. I hope that was accurate. I probably fucked that up. Was it 4 or 6? I don't know. Let's just say it was 4. Whatever. So yeah, we're gonna attack with Blim, and when I do damage, which we're gonna do, trust me, we're gonna do it. That player gains control of target permanent you control. Someone take this. Someone take this. Then that player loses life equal to and discards cards equal to the number of permanents they control that don't own. Okay, so you two people, enjoy the life loss / card discard. And that's it. That's my turn. Cool. There's no reason for me to use Reverberate off turn. Let's pretend. And we move on with life. Okay. Voldaren Estate? What the hell? Why not? Add 1 mana, spend this mana, cast a vampire spell, create a blood token. I can give away blood tokens. There you go. That's something useful there. We've got a tapped Mana Vault, which we're going to give away, I guess. Why the hell not? There was also a token of Dockside Extortionist, and we could have given away the token of Dockside Extortionist, but it didn't really make sense. Truth be told, we probably went ahead and swung with that Dockside Extortionist as well, but it's not overly vital that we, map that out. We'll swing with Blim. 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't have enough to make a blood token comfortably, but we will give away the Mana Vault. I don't know why, but we are. All right, so someone gets that. Again, you get the general strategy here. This is all happening in real time, but we're only pretending here because this is goldfishing. So a lot of that happens. Move on with life. Let's just say, oh my God, someone tries to ad nauseam. Is it successful? Let's conclude this game the way that Blim would probably conclude this game. Ad nauseam on the stack. Does it succeed? This is turn 4 ad nauseam. A little slow. We'll call them out on this. But oh, blam. I'm going to ad nauseam. Did I put an Imps Mischief? Let's see if I can stop them. How much life did I lose? Let's just say that I went down to 32 life. What the hell? I had to block with Dockside Extortionist. Sure. Copy your ad nauseam. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 14, 16, 17, 18, 21, 24, hold on, 25, 27. I don't know if anything else can kill me, but the idea is we're trying to stop them from winning if we're going to copy their ad nauseam, if they're trying to win on their turn, which is presumably what they're doing. We have a way to stop change the target spell, you lose. If we did that well, we got Pyroblast, and we've got we need a Tybalt's Trickery really to stop this. But I mean, we could kill a Thassa's Oracle, or we could Imps Mischief something. That's not so bad. I'm gonna do one more, and let's just say we stop there. Sure. Your ad nauseam. We gotta do this. We gotta do this. We gotta do this. Okay. Let's just say that we do need to use the Pyroblast and the Imps Mischief off turn to stop this play, and then we roll into my turn. I don't know if that was enough. Again, pretensies here. We're gonna bloop, do that. Okay, so we have a Demonic Tutor, we have a Grinding Station, but we don't have an Underworld Breach, do we? So here's how I would try to win on my turn. Again, we did leverage just a lot of stuff there. These claws would be great, but I think we need to go for a win here if we can. This is the highest mana producing land we have that is in all of our colors without detriment. If we want to win right here and now, and we don't have a solid way of giving ourselves protection on top of that because we needed to stop someone else from winning, we would just go Demonic Tutor, DT, bloop, this. We're going to grab Underworld Breach. And remember, this is where your Lion Sash would come in handy. We're going to go ahead and sacrifice Blim. No, that's stupid. We should really attack with Blim first before we continue with this, right? Before we do the UB. So let's just say we did that with Blim, make them discard cards from their hand. Hopefully they don't have any form of interaction. Then we'll go to do this. Bloop. Let's not sacrifice Blim nor use that. We'll use the Voldaren Estate. I keep forgetting that's there. We'll cast Underworld Breach. Underworld Breach, sweet, love it. It's one of the best cards. Okay, so now we'll cast Grinding Station, and on the cast, we'll go ahead and it's going to trigger off of itself. If you've seen me test this card out before, it's going to trigger on itself, and it's going to tap to sacrifice the Mox Opal to mill ourselves and then untap, right? So Mox Opal goes away, and we do this 1, 2, 3. Sweet. Aetherflux Reservoir. So the first thing we want to do, really, I will sacrifice Blim now. It goes right to my grave. We're going to produce 2 black mana. I'm going to use 1 black mana to cast this Dark Ritual, and we'll go up to 4 mana. Sweet. Right. Now, with that, we're going to go ahead and cast, Aetherflux Reservoir. Sweet. Love it. Now, to do that, we need to exile that. We're going to exile some other cards from our graveyard. This and not the Pyroblast. Let's just pretend we need that. And this. Now, that Dockside was probably the best move going into this to just give ourselves as much mana as possible. And we could also say that it would behoove us to use Grinding Station to sacrifice 1 more treasure to give ourselves more options to exile for the Underworld Breach effect, right? The escape, the escape. However, I'm just sort of streamlining this so we can get to the point where we win the game. So, if no one stopped us at this point, and they really should have countered Underworld Breach, then we would go about casting something that's 0 CMC from our graveyard, right? So Mox Opal. And you can get away with at least sacrificing 1 treasure because Mox Opal is going to have Metalcraft. How? Because we have Grinding Station, Mox Opal, a treasure, and Lightning Greaves on the battlefield, right? So ETBs, we'll untap this. You generate mana, whatever, black, red, blue, purple, doesn't matter. We're going to use this to mill this, and then 1, 2, 3. Bearing in mind, we need to exile 3 cards to even cast this from our graveyard, but we're only going to go down to, if we did that, we were going to go down to 7 cards in our graveyard. We'll always be net neutral on the cards in our graveyard because we're always going to Grinding Station ourselves. And on the cast, we generate life, and we're building up our storm count. With 61 cards in our deck, we will gain enough life to zap everyone. I certainly hope. I think we will. We cast a lot of spells there. Does that sound good? Are we frosty with that? Are we cool with that? All right. Blim, comedic genius. Let me tune in with you guys. I'm going to tune in with you guys, but I'm going to close this poll first. Am I allowed to close it on Streamlabs? Let's just see if that works. I would love to see your spin on Marath, Patreon to ask. Oh, so I've done Marath in the past, and I like Marath a lot. I did go all in on that play there, yeah. Let me see here. Did someone suggest Kroxa? So no to cEDH, but 45% to Boom. That to me means it is at least entertaining. Yes, interesting. Amazing work. I laughed a lot. Thank you, Chris. Now, let's just close this out by talking about the deck as usual, and obviously the channel at large. So this was the last Patreon Brewmaster request as of December, technically. That is when the Patreon shut down. Thank you guys so much for your support. Obviously, you, the viewer, everyone for tuning in weekly. But to the Patreon community, I wanted to close out all of our past Brewmaster requests, and this is actually it. So moving forward with the live streaming, I guess I'll talk about that first. I'm going to do these, I don't know how frequently, infrequently, but I'd like to touch on new sets and obviously build legendaries that I'm interested in. And those are all going to be from scratch and of my own personal interest. So from this new set, there are a couple of things in there that seems interesting. There's like an enchantment aura finder. Someone said it was like the aura equivalent of Oswald. I wouldn't say it's that good, but it's similar. But definitely interested in streaming in the future. I can't say with how much regularity it's going to happen, but you should see me around. If you're on the Discord, though, feel free to reach out to me at any time. Like, I'm always going to be around to talk on the Discord. Don't worry. But Chris, yeah, I think that Blim is fine. I think that this is definitely the route I would want to take with Blim in the future, and this did enough for me to say that it was fine. The idea here being that we want to steal value, give away odd not value, right? Detrimental things like demonic lore and such. And that this list will only grow stronger in time when there are more cards like demonic lore. They give you its upside with a constant downside. I wish the treacherous card worked for giving it away. More cards like that, though, would be amazing. And Wishclaw Talisman is a really good tutor for this list. Obviously, it's new. So more effects like that can only enhance Blim. But I do think that Blim has a place. I would say that the approach should be more mid-range / stacks control. Like giving away stacks pieces for other people to have, just to obviously give them the discard loss of life, is not a bad plan. It's also, if there are stacks pieces that don't affect you overly, not a bad idea. Although this route, I wouldn't say it's proactive, but it did rely on more mainline strategies with UB and the Aetherflux Reservoir that was right on top of my deck there, by the way, which was lovely. And obviously Dualcaster Mage, Heat Shimmer, which is just a clear win through combat. All really not bad. This all worked. But Chris, thank you for the suggestion, and thank you guys for tuning in every week to watch these. I've enjoyed the heck out of them. I am going to do dinner now, and I hope you do the same. Until next time, again, if you want to chat with me, I'm over on the Discord. The 99's the name. But it's been fun. Thank you guys for hanging out. Whew. What a weird deck, I gotta say. But I enjoyed it, for sure. See you guys.